From One of One Production Studios, broadcasting from NYC, you are listening to Unexpected Success with your host, Joy.
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Unexpected Success with Joy. And in the studio today, we have Rebecca Allen. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so happy you're here. So Rebecca Allen is a genius. And she's also the founder and CEO of Rebecca Allen Footwear or apparel, like just footwear, right?
Yeah,
shoes. Okay,
yeah.
All right. And so I'm so excited about this line. I think just the purpose behind it, and all the thought that went into it. I'm so excited to hear more about your story and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So we just launched at the end of February with an initial offering of a timeless patent leather pump in 5 nude shades. So complementing every skin tone from someone who's very dark to someone who's very light and in between, with the goal to really help all women recognize that they bring themselves their best selves forward when they feel comfortable in their own skin, and that's really what makes us unstoppable.
Yeah. So, the whole idea of nude for every skin tone, right? And how easy is it when you're getting dressed and you don't know what shoe to put on, but to know that you have the perfect nude that gives you like the elongated, kind of like the continuous leg look.
Exactly. That for me was just such a head cramp as a woman of color, wanting a nude that would create that seamless leg line.
Right.
And just not being able to find it in the marketplace. You could find something that's nude for a lot of other people.
Right. But our nude is like, and it goes, across the board. In general, nude does not always mean brown nude. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the same skin color. So, all right. So I guess, all right. So first of all, it's amazing that you have decided to create your own shoe line. I don't know anyone, right, that obviously we know that that the namesakes, the people that we the people, anyway, the unmentionables, shoe brands that we all follow. But how did you know you could do it? How did you come up with the concept?
So this for me was born out of a real pain point, and I think whenever you're exploring new business ventures, it's great to know that it's something that's honest and true to you. And I was working in finance for years and wanted just the shoe that could live under my desk and go with everything. And it was a big enough pain that I had scoured everything, figured out all the places where I could try to substitute, and nothing really kind of fit the bill. And so I was fortunate enough to have one of my advisors to the business actually is a very experienced footwear professional. So
awesome.
So that's my little secret.
Yeah. No, it's good.
I think I've been very fortunate to have that person as a sounding board, from everything from product development to finding manufacturer and agent, fitting the shoes, reviewing the construction of the shoe, all of that, because the industry can really be a black box if you're just trying to get into it, and might have otherwise been very, very hard to surmount that piece of it.
Yeah,
sure.
I can imagine. And so where's your manufacturer?
So we make these shoes in Brazil, outside of Ipanema, in a place called Porto Alegre, which, Brazil makes a lot of shoes for well-known designers. Really high-quality leather, very high-quality production.
No, and I've seen the shoe.
Yeah.
And you have some with you?
I have. Oh, did I show you this last time? I had the new one with me last time.
Yeah, no, I love this. Okay, so you have a pump, right? But you also have sandals for the season, and I love the sandal.
Yeah.
So what I love about the sandal also is, you can wear it with anything. It's perfect. It's sexy enough, that if you wanted to like go out after work, you can do that. It's like an after work thing, or you can also wear it during the day to work. It's not over the top, right?
Yeah, and I think the pump too. These are timeless, evergreen offerings, which was important for me, right? I feel like as women, we're often on this kind of trend hamster wheel, right? Where season to season, you got to buy the next thing, and if you want to kind of stay on top. And I feel like for footwear, which sometimes is an area where we make more expensive purchases, it's nice to have something that's going to be well made and last you and still be relevant for the next season.
Right. And the biggest thing for us, I guess, also is comfort, right? And so, I can't wait to get some of these on my feet just to your comfort is huge. I mean, I think
should have brought your size.
Yeah, the bag is not big enough.
But that's been some of the early feedback that's been really great to hear is along the comfort line. These are definitely designed with a woman in mind who's busy, right? She might be going from a meeting to picking her kids up or, running up and down subway stairs. And so knowing that she wouldn't have to do the exercise of changing in and out of the shoe, right, finding that corner to dash into.
How many times I've sat on a fire hydrant and tried to figure out to switch out.
I've definitely been that lady.
So these are great. So I guess let us know a little bit about who you are. I guess where are you from?
Yeah, so I'm from New York.
Oh, you are? Okay, great.
I was born in Brooklyn, so I'll claim that.
It's the best place to be from. Everyone's like Brooklyn.
Yeah. And now I live in Brooklyn, but
cool.
in the middle, I grew up in Westchester, actually, so had some suburban time as well.
Oh, cool. Do you have siblings?
I do. So I have an older brother who is out on the West Coast, and he actually has a little baby boy, my nephew,
awesome.
Logan. Yes.
How old is he?
Logan is 7 months.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow, so brand new baby.
Yeah, brand new, but he's he's pulling up on stuff, and he's super
he's advanced,
very, very advanced.
Oh, cool. Okay, all right, great. And and how do your parents support? Your parents and your brother support?
Yeah, they're all super excited. I think my parents are still in New York, so I see them a lot, and they've been they'll believe in me whatever I get into, but I think they're super excited about this. I think for my mom too, I think it means a lot for her to see me doing something for women of color. I think it's special.
So proud, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So how was it to transition? Because so this show, obviously, we focus on entrepreneurs and people who kind of have been able to kind of recreate themselves, and this is pretty fearless, right? I mean, who has their own shoe line? So
an eponymous shoe line,
right? It's amazing. So how was it to transition from being a banker to then getting into this creative space? And did you always know that you had this kind of creative spirit?
So for me, I think I've always been a creative person, not in the sense of actually being able to execute it. I can't draw. I don't have a medium that I'm inclined toward, but a very creative thinker. I think also for me, strangely enough, improvisation has been something that I've practiced through my professional career, and I find that is something that I go back to when I was in finance. Super important for dealing with all different types of people.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And just kind of navigating lots of different scenarios. But now in this new role has been something that I've kind of come back to again to just to be able to be comfortable in uncomfortable spaces, right? Because I'm doing a lot of new
the things that you didn't know about, right? So, and I guess you have this advisor that it gave you a lot of insight as to how to navigate through through this industry. If you had to define your natural abilities, what would you? Well, obviously you kind of touched upon that, but anything else that you think that really helps you thrive in this area?
That's a great question. I think. I think the being a little fearless is something that I've always I embrace newness, and I'm excited about that.
I think embracing newness.
Even as a kid, I'm always excited for the next thing. I like meeting new people. I like turning a page.
Yeah.
So for better or worse, that's
No, it's
ready
great.
to kind of like go on to the next thing. But
Yeah.
obviously, obviously I have an MBA. I've spent a lot of time doing, both like private placement and speaking to a lot of investors and all of that kind of stuff. So the finance piece
huge.
was not a stretch for me,
Right.
right? So that's something that but this is obviously different, right? I was doing a lot of the kind of deals that I used to look at were very later stage. This is obviously a whole different beast, but something that I feel familiar enough with.
So I mean, have you gone out to find funding? And I guess I would imagine that your background and investments and things of that nature have helped you, right? To not only with relationships, but also just with knowing what investors want to see in terms of like a pitch decks and not pitch decks, but it's like a funding decks.
For sure. Yeah. Brand overview, pitch deck. Absolutely. I think it's that, again, on such an early stage, you're telling a different story than you are for, an established business that has revenue they can point to and has, traction and margins and all of their kind of
right. No, of course, all of the reports.
Yeah, right. So it's, this for me, I think the challenge has been telling both a story that is big enough, right? An opportunity set that is compelling, which obviously I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't think it was, right? I think, the footwear aside, the plan for this is to be much, much bigger than shoes alone. I think we are in a time of a collective consciousness of women of color not only being more and more numerous, but more celebrated,
Yes.
more vocal, more visible. And I think that brands that are not speaking to this customer base, either because they just don't have the right people in the room to do so, or they just haven't caught up yet, are going to really be playing catch up. And so what I'm most excited about is this opportunity to bring a level of authenticity to the brand identity that when I look across the landscape, I'm not seeing anybody that's doing it in the same way.
Yeah.
But so telling that big story, but also saying, but when you look at heritage brands, right, they didn't get there in 3 years. They didn't get there. So also saying, I don't want to squander this opportunity by being imprudent. So here's my plan for how we're going to go about this.
Okay, and so you mentioned so what's your long-term goal for Rebecca Allen, right? And is that I guess what do you envision?
So I think of this as a new heritage brand that is reflective of the new face of American women and beyond America too, right? I mean, we are in full force across the globe, right? Whether you're black, brown, yellow, somewhere in between, more and more people are somewhere in between.
No, it appeals.
Right?
It appeals. And I think I mentioned to you that I think the Nubian skin brand was based in the UK.
They're based out of the UK, yeah.
The UK. And I don't know, I think I was pregnant at the time, and I was just I was amazed that they had, lingerie for brown people, like our nude. And I got OD'd. I bought I don't know, 5 bras, and I don't even think I bought the right size.
Yeah, if you were pregnant, probably changing. Yeah.
All right. So, but I was happy to support it because I felt obviously it spoke to me, and it was something that I was just so proud.
Yeah, I think for me, that's a brand, right, that's market validating, and also going about it in a smart way. And I think recognizing that that collaborative spirit behind, wanting to buy it because you're supporting a brand that that's mission is aligned with your,
and they were actually creating a product for me. I felt like they understood me, right? Which is how I feel about your footwear.
Right.
I feel like you understand the how difficult it is to find a brand or find a shoe, a good nude.
Yeah.
I mean, that goes for anything too, hosiery.
I mean, cosmetics, obviously it's a big area that we're seeing, a lot of folks paying attention to, some with more of, just kind of like diversity and inclusion, like washing,
Right.
the green washing of diversity and inclusion. What is that called? Diversity washing. I don't know.
Yeah, that I don't know.
It's definitely happening, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah. But I think, obviously, or hopefully I can go there in a way that other people can't. And recognizing that collaborative spirit, right? That, your success doesn't preclude my own, that we're all so
Absolutely,
much more
right.
powerful when we lift each other up.
Absolutely. All right. Well, great. I mean, I think that, and so I know that you not only are you the founder and CEO, but you do your PR, you do so much, and so,
All the hats.
I know all the hats, and that's the grind, right? And so you have articles in Teen Vogue and The Cut. I saw those articles.
Yeah, thanks.
And so good work there, right? And so so I guess what's next? So what's like, if you had the baby, I know this is like a huge elephant, but you have to like break it into little pieces. What's next?
So gearing up for some next styles. So stay tuned for those that we'll be dropping. That will really hopefully round out any missing holes in your closet.
Okay, great.
And then beyond that, I think I'm spending a lot of time visiting with customers, getting feedback, really understanding
the consumer.
Yeah, the consumer, how she buys, what about this is appealing to her, and what else she'd like to see. Because ultimately, we want to be able to just continue to delight her, anticipate her needs, and just make her, help her stand a little taller. Sorry, those are all my shoe puns.
No, it's good. No, and so where can we find you? I know. So what's your social?
So the social handle is Rebecca Allen NY.
Okay.
We've got some, great curated and original content on Instagram, and more to come there. If you head over to our site, which is just rebecca-allen.com, we are regularly interviewing awesome ladies, just talking about routines, life hacks, how you think about your personal and professional presence.
Okay. And we'll also feature all of your social on our website to make sure that people can go there and leave comments. And I think that you are looking for more of a kind of a engagement, just in terms of people's thoughts about everything and the styles. And
let's talk.
Clearly encouragement for this fearless entrepreneur. And any advice, I guess, parting words that you have for someone who is thinking about starting a business, but they're super nervous or they're making excuses. Any advice that you can give?
Yeah, I think what's been helpful for me is being able to keep an even keel, right? Some days are really high, and obviously there are days that are low. So resetting every morning, recommitting, starting fresh, it really helps keep me going.
Right.
I'd also say being politely persistent, right? I spend so much time making asks of people and networking and trying to get new intros just across every aspect of the business, right?
Yeah.
From the PR piece to the investing, all of it. So just keeping people in mind and how you can be thoughtful and what you have to offer and be helpful back, but also just kind of figuring out creative ways to stay in front of people and being a little relentless.
And I think that's a key piece. I think, a lot of times I know as an entrepreneur, I get a lot of no's, you know what I mean? And having to deal with the no, which initially is like, ugh. You know what I mean?
Soul crushing.
It's like you literally feel it, but then after a while, you get enough no's, you get used to them. Not that you should get used to them, but they don't bother you nearly as much.
Yeah, and I think that's true on the other side of that too, right? I think you could take a moment to be sad about that no, and then you move on. Or on the other side, you could take a moment to pat yourself on the back for whatever awesome thing just happened, but then you gotta shelve that and move on too.
I love that. I love that. Okay.
Rebecca Allen NY on Instagram.
Okay. Yeah. I can't wait to hear. You guys have to see the shoes. I can't wait to
sign up for our emails.
Yeah, exactly. Keep winning.
Thank you. Thanks. You too.
This podcast was brought to you by 23DB Productions, ID Productions, and One of One Productions. For more information, go to Facebook and Instagram. Unexpected Success with Joy.